Today we are going to discuss a very crucial topic of polity. So let's start, which is oath and resignation. Oath and resignation. Now, at first, I will write, let's make a column. Here I will write the president, vice president. Here in this column, I am writing the posts. Here I am writing the oaths. And here I am writing the resignation. Now. Look, at first I've written the president. Now the president will give his resignation to the vice president. I think it's not visible. Vice president. And who will administer the oath of the president of India? Will it be the vice president? No. He will be the CGI, Chief Justice of Supreme Court. So at first I'm writing all the posts in this column. Then comes the governor, the Chief Justice of India, CGI. Then comes the PM. Then Speaker of Lok Sabha. Okay. Now the vice president will give his resignation to the president of India. You must be knowing this. This is very basic. But the governor will give his resignation to the president only. Why? Because the president is the nominal head of the state. So both the vice president and the governor will give his resignation to the president. Now CGI will also give the resignation to the president. PM will also give the resignation to the president. I will talk about the Speaker of Lok Sabha later. Okay. So I will give you a kind of trick which you can remember. Okay. Now I told you that there are several posts. I have written the post here. I have written who will administer the oath and who will give the resignation. The particular post, they will give resignation to whom I have written in this column. Okay. Basics are clear now. Till now I have written vice president, governor, CGI, PM, prime minister, and I have written that they gives their resignation to the president. Vice president also gives, governor also gives, CGI also, and PM also. They all give their resignation to the president of the nation. Now, if I talk about the president, he will give the resignation to whom? He will give the resignation to the vice president. He cannot give the resignation to himself. So he needs someone. So he gives to the vice president. Okay. Now, who administers the oath of the vice president? It is the president only. Okay. Who administers the oath of governor? Now tell me, who administers the oath of president? The oath of the president is administered by the Chief Justice of Supreme Court. So President is the nominal head of the nation. Governor is the nominal head of the state, of that particular state. So he will give his uh, his ad his oath will be administered by Chief Justice of who? Chief Justice of High Court. You have to compare. The president oath is being administered by the Chief Justice of Supreme Court. The governor's oath will be administered by the Chief Justice of High Court. And the Vice President will give the resignation to President. Governor will give the resignation to the President. CGI will give the resignation to the President. PM will give the resignation to the President. But the President cannot give the resignation to himself, so he will give it to the Vice President. Now, who administers the oath of the Chief Justice of India? It is also the President. Who administers the oath of the Prime Minister of the country? He is also the President. And let me tell you one thing, that the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, he will give his resignation to the Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha. And his oath will be administered by whom? He does not take any oath. No oath. No oath. Okay? And he will give the resignation to the Deputy Speaker. Now, let's analyze this. Because if you will analyze it, it will be easier for you to remember it for a longer period of time. So, PM will give the resignation, President, CGI, President, Governor, President, Vice President, President. President cannot give the resignation to himself, so he will give it to the Vice President. Speaker of the Lok Sabha, so he will give the resignation to the Deputy Speaker. Understood? Now Speaker takes no oath and he gives his resignation to the Deputy Speaker and the Prime Minister of the nation. He will give to the President and his oath will be administered by the President. CGI also, his oath will be administered by the President. But Governor and President, you can learn it by the help of analogy. For the President of the nation, he is the head of the state, so his oath will be administered by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and for the Governor, Chief Justice of High Court, because High Court is present in the state and Supreme Court is present in the nation. He is the nominal head of the nation. He is the nominal head of the state, of that particular state. So you can learn it by the help of analogy.